important to understand, uh, to scan the network and from security point of view. So we will go through like some how cyber attackers they do the scanning, and how they approach that, and what information they get by scanning the infrastructure, and how it is important from defender's point of view to secure the infrastructure. So generally, what we do in scanning the network is like attackers first, before launching any attack, what they do, they try to collect as much information as they can about the infrastructure. So that generally gives them information like what kind of topology that infrastructure has, what kind of operating systems that they are using, and like open ports and services which are running on those ports. So all these things, it provides information to attackers, and then they can know that, yeah, if the Windows operating system that infrastructure is using, and these are the ports which are opened, and how the topology looks like. Then all this information, it gives them an understanding of the infrastructure, and then they use the attack accordingly. So they plan it accordingly, and they will also get what kind of IP addresses range that infrastructure has. So it gives them a very good understanding about the target infrastructure. So many infrastructure, if you know, like what they have, like they have a lot of servers in the infrastructure, and all those servers have different services running, different ports are running, which are open most of the time, and they are running on those ports. Some services are running like maybe HTTP services, or in any other, some applications are running which are using those ports. And port is like an entry point in any infrastructure. So that is a entry point. So attackers first try to understand like what are the ports open, which type of operating system the infrastructure is using, and what are the IP address range that infrastructure has. And all these information, it gives them an understanding, and then they plan the attack accordingly. So here, if you see, we have an attacker, and then it is trying to uh, do a TCP probe, and it is sending some TCP probe traffic to infrastructure, and then it gets those information. So once it gets the response from the infrastructure, then it analyzes all those response, and from those response, it tries to identify like what are the range of IP addresses infrastructure has, and what are the ports open, what kind of operating system it is using. So we have different kind of scanning techniques that generally attackers use. So port scanning is like it provides you the ports which are open and services which are running on those ports. So it is like before launching any attack, attackers try to understand like which are the port. As I mentioned, it is like an entry point for attacker in the infrastructure. So they will, and a lot of ports have different services running, so they will try to understand what type of services are running, and which applications are using those ports. So it will try to understand, and then it can plan the attack accordingly. And also like then we have the network scanning. So in the network scanning, you will get like what are the active hosts in the infrastructure, like with hosts which are listening, and what are the IP address those hosts have. So with those information, it will try to identify like, yeah, these are the IP address ranges that infrastructure has. And then we have the vulnerability scanning. So that is another aspect, like attackers try to identify what are the vulnerabilities that may be there in the infrastructure. So that is like what are the weakness or vulnerabilities that we can use to launch attacks. So the main objective of network scanning is to find the active hosts, what are their IP addresses, and then the ports which are open that those hosts are using, because that is like an entry point in the infrastructure. And then they try to find out what kind of operating systems that target have or infrastructure has. So attacker will also try to find operating system, whether the infrastructure is using Windows operating systems or Linux or Mac. And then they try to we find try to find like what are the services running on those target systems, and like maybe http services or some other services which are running, which attackers can use to get inside the infrastructure. And then also like any specific applications which are running on those host machine. So they try to collect all these information, because idea of these scanning technique is to scan the entire infrastructure and get as much information as we can, and then use it to launch the attack. And from defender's point of view, we need to always be careful, like we have to deploy different countermeasures, security tools, to see if any kind of scanning activity, if it is done by attacker, those tools will trigger an alert, like maybe the intrusion detection systems we have, network monitoring tools we have. So but from attackers point of view, that is like collect as much information as we can. And also from defenders point of view, it is always good to like do the scanning of their infrastructure periodically, to identify how attackers can get inside our infrastructure. Maybe we have some open ports and it is not getting used for anything, so those ports are very vulnerable, which are just open and nobody knows why those ports are open, and what is the purpose, and no application is using that. So that is a very vulnerable point where attackers can get inside into your infrastructure. So network mapper nmap that we call is a very well known tool that we use to scan the infrastructure. So what it does, it allows us to discover hosts, like IP addresses that are active in the infrastructure, ports which are open, and then what kind of services are running inside the infrastructure. So all these information it gives, and it is a well-known tool that is used by pen testers to scan their infrastructure periodically, and it will give like the ports, open IP addresses, and services. So it helps us also to understand from the perspective of attackers, like how they can get inside our infrastructure. So I will show that how you can use nmap. So this is a graphical user interface of nmap tool. So nmap, it comes with like GUI interface, graphical interface, and also with command line. So both you can use, but command line tool is more powerful as compared to graphical GUI. But if you are just starting, that is fine to use for to get inside and know how we can use nmap. So here, if you see, you can scan your like maybe you can use virtual machines and install Linux system like Kali, which is well known for pen testers and ethical hackers that they use to do pen testing. And then you can use another virtual machine where you can just use it to perform all the pen testing activities on. So here I have used my Windows. I have two virtual machines in my systems, and one is like I'm using Kali machine, and then one is Windows virtual machine which I'm using, and I'm scanning the Windows virtual machine. So here, if you see, I just did the TCP scan, intense TCP scan, and it gave me all the ports which are open and which is used by TCP like 135, 139, which is 445. So these are very well known, which is used. And what type of services like it is using, like Microsoft remote procedure call, NetBIOS, SSN that you see here, that those services are running on those ports. And like you also see here version like Windows, Microsoft Windows RPC, Microsoft Windows NetBIOS, SSN, those are running. So that is definitely like uh, target infrastructure is using Windows machine. And here you also see that MAC address that I got, MAC address of my Windows machine, and what type of device or operating system I am using, like Microsoft Windows XP category. So it just identified that, but I am using Windows 10. So all these information that you can get, like what are the ports open, services, like and also what is the state of those ports, like those ports are open. And also you can get information regarding the topology. Like if you see here, we also have a tab for topology, so you can get the topology of the infrastructure which you scanned. So all those information you can collect by using this tool and map. And it is very powerful tool for performing network scanning, port scanning. So here this one that you see here, like this is the port, I mean topology, but it's not a very complex topology. It is very simple because I'm just using Kali, and then I'm using my Windows machine. So it is a very simplified topology. But maybe if you are using in the large infrastructure, then maybe you will have a complex topology. It is just one hop away from my Kali machine. HPing, it is also a very well known scanning tool, but it is widely used for research purpose. And you can use HPing through launch denial of service attack. Also, if you are doing some research activity and you want to simulate denial of service attack, you can use this HPing 3 tool, even HPing 2. This is a command line tool which is widely used for research purpose and also for pen testing. So you can simulate that different types of denial of service attack, different types of network traffic that you can simulate. And also from pen testing point of view, you can use those different kinds of traffic to check your configuration of firewall, your network connections, like routers, access control. So all those things you can verify. So once, let's say, you have configured firewall, your routers and everything, maybe you can use this tool to check whether those are performing well or not. So HPing 3 is like widely used, and you can simulate ICMP, TCP, UDP traffic. Uh, and also if you are using it for research purpose or for even for pen testing, you can like spoof the traffic in HPing 3 and do the scanning. You can try to evade firewall detection. So all those activities you can do using HPing 3. And you can check the security settings of your firewall, of your infrastructure. So from pen testing point of view, it is very useful tool to know that you can use it to simulate the different kind of traffic and check the configuration of your firewall, your routers, your switches, whether they are performing accordingly or not. So HPing 3, it directly it is installed by default in your Kali machine. But if it is not installed, it is very easy to install. You can do that. So here, if you see, I just simulated like on my another Windows machine. So this is a very simple ICMP traffic. So I just simulated that and got the response. But you can also set like the different features, like you can spoof the source IP address, then do TCP, UDP, or ICMP scan. You can simulate very large traffic. So it is well known for pen testing, for like simulating different kinds of traffic and see the security settings of your infrastructure. So this is like a TCP scanning on port 80. So here, this is a different command. So you don't need to remember these commands. You can just type hping3 and dash help, or dash h. You will see all kind of even help, like the different kinds of commands that you can use, and that will be, it will give you like what to use in different, if you want to simulate uh, TCP ACK scan or UDP scan, and if you want to spoof the IP address of the source machine, so how you can do that. So everything you can do it. And also there is app in the GPT, which is Pentest GPT, and there is also Kali GPT you can use. And you don't need to remember the command, but you, of course, definitely need to understand how it works. Otherwise, it is of no use. So this is like a firewall testing that you can do. So if you see many firewalls, what they do, they drop TCP packets if they do not have TCP timestamps option set. So maybe when you are doing the pen testing, you can just add that option to set the TCP timestamp. So here you can do it by providing this command like dash dash TCP and dash timestamp. So it will set the timestamp on the traffic which you are launching from your Kali machine, and which is going to your another maybe Windows machine, and then it will set the timestamp and which will evade the firewall. So if the firewall is dropping the traffic which doesn't have any TCP timestamps, so then you can evade the firewall. It will not drop. And here I am performing the scan on port 139. So all these things are like different types of simulating different types of a scan in the on the infrastructure. So this is like a, UDP flood scan. So you can just type hping3 and dash dash flood, and you just need to provide the IP address of your target machine, and it will just flood the that host machine with a lot of different packets. So you can see in a very short window of time, you will see that it sends a lot of huge volume of traffic. So that is like if you are doing some research and you need to simulate different kinds of traffic like TCP, UDP, ICMP, HTTP. So all those different kinds of traffic, even you can use spoofing, and you can uh, have a different source IP addresses. So all those things you can do it using HPing. It is a very good tool for doing also simulating different kinds of traffic for research purpose. So these are like a different commands that you can use. So you don't need to remember all these commands. You can now use pentest GPT and other, a lot of pen testers are using. They build their own GPT app, and then they use that for planning and getting all the commands, and then they do the actual testing. So just knowing the command is not main thing. You can get the commands even on Google and through GPT or any other large language models that you are using. Thing is to understand like why you are doing this. I mean, if you are a pen tester, what kind of traffic you would like to simulate uh, and test those security settings. So those things, yeah, for that you need to be a subject matter expert. I mean, just randomly searching for commands and doing that as a pen tester, it is not a good idea. I mean, even you will not know like what you are doing. So also before doing any pen testing, a lot of organization first they plan like what is the scope as I mentioned previously in the class, that you need to define the scope, on what infrastructure you are going to do the pen testing, and then like also who are the stakeholders and everything you need to know. And also you, as a pen tester, you need to plan like what kind of testing that you are going to do. I mean, you cannot do any testing. First you need to also discuss with the stakeholders or the organization which wants their infrastructure, maybe one particular server or two particular servers, to be pen tested. So you need to discuss with them what kind of testing they want. Maybe if you need to explain them a bit, and you will first also try to understand like what current status of their infrastructure is, like what kind of security settings they have, or maybe what kind of topology they have, and maybe the operating system they are using, and what they would like to get tested. So all those things you need to discuss. It's not like you just get to know some random commands and then you can do it, and for pen testing. So you need to have an effective planning before doing the actual work. So you need to have all the activities listed and tasks that you are going to perform. So that is, it requires a lot of planning before doing the actual pen testing. So that is what you need to discuss in the organization, and you need to come up with a plan, and what would be the scope of the test, and which kind of test you are going to perform, and then you can do that. So it's not like you just memorize all these commands and do a random testing. Maybe these test is not required at all. So those things you need to like plan. So that is also like it's not just a technical thing. You need to have an effective skills also, how you discuss within in the organization and plan everything, and then narrow it down like what test you are going to perform. So all these are the different kinds of commands that you see. ICMP ping, how you can do that. If you are doing the TCP ACK scan on the port 80, how you will do that. And all these commands you can also like experiment with just help menu in the hping 3. So you can just type hping 3 and then dash dash help, and it will give you different options, so you can try that. So this is another scanning tool, NetScan Pro. So this is not a free tool actually. So but there is some option that you can use it for a certain period. But that is you need to get the license and everything. But this is also good to learn. A lot of time pen testers, they use nmap, hping, and those are widely known tool actually, because it's they use a lot of open source tool. And then, yeah, in the scanning, idea is also to identify the ports which are open, and open services which are running, what kind of operating system, and also like which are the hosts which are active in the infrastructure, so that you can communicate with those hosts and try to get more information in the infrastructure. So if you find that, yeah, particular range of IP addresses which are open, then maybe you will send some more traffic on those machines and try to get the response and collect the information. So these are the different technique to also check whether a host is active or not. So like ARP scan, you can do UDP ping scan, ICMP that you saw, TCP ping scan. So all these different scans you can perform, and you can find whether the host is opened or not. So in the ARP also scan, what generally they do, attackers, they will send the ARP request, and then the victim or target machine will respond with the some ARP packets, and then it will analyze. So in Nmap also you can do the ARP scan. It has the option. Just you need to get the help menu, and it will give you like what exact command that you need to provide to get the ARP ping. So here you see that is with the dash pr option that you can use initially. If you have not used nmap, then it is always good to use zenmap, which is a graphical version of nmap, so that you will understand basic fundamental, and then maybe you can use it the command line tool. So command line is more powerful, and you can do a lot of activities. So graphical version has some limitation, but if you have not used previously, then it is good to start with. So here you will I just use nmap with dash pr option on this ip address that you see 192.168, and then it says that a host is active, and it returned me the mac address of the host machine. And also it gives you like you can go in the host details here if you see, and you can get all those details, mac address, ip addresses, and other informations. So that is like when you are doing the arp scan. So UDP ping scan is also very similar. Like you are sending UDP uh, packets to the host, and then you wait for their response. And then if you get the response, then you will identify that yeah, the host is active. So here you see the default port numbers that is used by nmap for UDP scan is 40 and 125, which nmap used by default. So you can also try to use these ports and get see the response. So here I think maybe you can just there is an option in the Zen map also to try the UDP scan option, and you can select that, and then you can perform the scan. And then this is a ICMP echo ping sweep, which is also like you send it from the source machine and then wait for the response. So if like here you see a source is sending different ICMP echo requests to different hosts in the infrastructure, and the host machine which respond to that packets, so those are like active hosts, and which we are not responding like ip address with dot six. So that means those are inactive. So these are like just very fundamental uh, commands that you can try to understand how it works. And also when you are doing any kind of like a research where you need to simulate different kinds of traffic, to also understand what kind of logs they generate, what kind of features that can be the relevant. So then you would like to simulate different kinds of traffic to collect all those information. So in those cases you can use these different commands and collect as much information as you can. So this is like what I'm doing here. If you see, I just type the target machine IP, and in the end, I just type star. So what it will do, it will try to scan the entire range of that IP address. So it will try to find like which are the hosts which are up, and it will give you, all the like the MAC address and other details about the host. So you can see here a lot of host machines are up. So if you will run it in your lab, you will see these kind of results. But if you will just you are running in your virtual machine, you won't get a lot of information, because you will have maybe one uh, target machine. So this is another tool that you can use. I have given the link, so you can try to download and use that. But it is always good to just use and master just one or two tools. Like hping is a very well-known tool, and zenmap is also a very well-known tool. So I would suggest to start with these two tools. And also it will not only help you from pen testing and cybersecurity fundamentals perspective, but also if you are doing any kind of research project, those tools are very handy to simulate attacks. So then also the idea is like we are going through the different kinds of tools, and what kind of countermeasures, sorry, that we need to have. So once you are like identifying using these tools to do the pen testing, you should also come up with the countermeasures that you can deploy. So the first countermeasures is like generally we configure firewall to detect and prevent any kind of scanning attempts. So maybe you will do the whitelisting in your firewall to avoid getting any traffic that pass through your firewall. You will configure intrusion detection system and prevention system to generate alerts for any kind of scanning attempts. So your intrusion detection system should be configured in a way that if any scanning is done by like any other IP address apart from what is in your inside the infrastructure, it will trigger an alert. And also you should not avoid your insider threats. So maybe you will have another intrusion detection system which generally detect and prevent any kind of uh, scan attempt from inside the infrastructure. And once you have identified like some host is doing continuous scanning, then maybe you would like to block those hosts, terminate the connection. So maybe if let's say a sudden from sudden host with particular IP address, you are getting a lot of requests, maybe 50 packets or 100 packets in a second or in 2 seconds. So that means there is some scanning is going on. So maybe you can block those IP addresses. And also it is good to have your access control list in your switches and routers set, so that and also do the whitelisting if anything like which IP address is sending some traffic which is not in your infrastructure, then it should block. And if it is sending, maybe it is benign traffic, legitimate traffic, but if it is sending a lot of request in very short time window, then that is a trigger, like yeah, and that can be the uh, scanning attempt that a certain machine is trying to do. And also we try to identify what kind of operating system that end user or target machine is using. So what you can do, you can use nmap with dash o option. In the zenmap also you have this option for detecting that. So you can just provide dash o and the target IP address, and it will try to find the it will do the OS scan, and it will give you what kind of operating systems that target infrastructure has. And also it is a good idea from a pen tester's point of view to see how we can like what is the configuration, whether the configuration of intrusion detection system or firewall is good or not. So what they try to do, they will try to see whether they can bypass firewall or any alert that is triggered by IDS for scanning attempts. So just to see whether the security settings of these security tools are good or not. So many a times, what attackers like pen testers do, they fragment the packets and then they will do the scanning so that they can evade firewall. So that is one technique that they use. They will fragment the packets, and once it is received by the receiver, then it will try to assemble and then it will send. So that is one technique. Then source routing, like specifying the path that traffic should perform. So that is another technique that they use. A lot of time, your intrusion detection systems, what they will do, if a traffic is coming from any not coming from a well-known port or actual source port, then it will like create an alert or trigger an alert. So you can set the source port while sending the traffic from your machine and try to see whether IDS is triggering any alert or not. So if it is not triggering, then maybe your IDS is yeah, attackers can bypass. An IP address, like maybe what pen testers also do, like they will generate specific IP addresses, uh, maybe of decoys, or so that your firewall or IDS cannot see whether it is an actual IP address or not. And then IP address spoofing is also one thing that attackers generally, or pen testers, they try to do. They will try to set some IP addresses and let the traffic appear that it is coming from a valid IP address, or maybe coming from the inside the infrastructure. And so that they will try to see whether they can bypass firewall or evade triggering any alert from intrusion detection systems. So all these are different techniques that as a pen tester they try to do to see whether IDS and firewall security configurations are correct or not. So one technique that I mentioned, that packet fragmentation. So it is like splitting your packets and that you are sending to the target machine into smaller packets. And when what happens when these traffic or packets will arrive at the host machine, IDS or firewall that you are using as in to secure your infrastructure, it will all queue them, and then it will process one by one. So this method, what it does, it will try to evade like IDS and firewall. So they try to bypass it and see whether they can bypass it using packet fragmentation or not. So this is one technique, and to also it will give you an understanding whether your firewall settings or intrusion detection system setting is correct or not. If it is not correct, then you need to do it. So these are just, you can try this command, this is the command to do the packet fragmentation and then send it to your infrastructure. What you can also do, maybe you can set the Windows firewall and try to see whether this is working or not. That would be a good exercise also to test in your own settings. So this is just a result, like you see here, MAC address and all those details, device type, operating system, how much distance that network system is, like it is just one hop. So all those details you can get. So source port manipulation, like here you see we have a firewall, and then we have a victim machine which is behind the firewall. So if an attacker is sending a traffic which is which appears to come from port 242, then firewall will block that. But if attacker sets the port to port 80, then maybe the firewall can allow to communicate with the victim machine. So this is called source port manipulation, and you can test it with your ZenMap or Nmap tool. So that is called the source port manipulation to bypass the firewall. So here, what you can do, for instance, in the ZenMap, just do this option -G and set the port like 80, and then provide the IP address. So what you can also do when you are doing this kind of testing, you can run the Wireshark on the victim machine to see whether a traffic is coming from maybe you will know your Kali machine IP address, and whether it is coming on from port 80 or not. So all those things you can verify on your Wireshark. So let me know if you have any questions here.
Yes, you can unmute
Yeah.
and you can ask the questions.
Sir, two questions.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Firstly, sir, you said we can use Nmap and ZenMap to create create an attack, to simulate an attack. So, sir, how do we do that? Because whenever we are creating a project, problem in
Mhm.
cybersecurity is we can't do any testing because most of the websites are that are free to means attack are very too much vulnerable, and others are illegal. So, sir, can we actually do use Nmap to create create an attack, simulate an attack to test cybersecurity software or whatever project we made?
So what you can do, maybe you can set the your in your controlled environment, maybe in your lab or even in your own machine, laptop. What you can do, you can use virtual machines, and maybe you can have two or three or four virtual machines in your virtual box, and one you can use Kali machine, and then use Nmap from there, and just do all the simulations inside your virtual machine on different virtual, like maybe you can have Windows virtual machine like three or four, and simulate the all the different kinds of attacks on those machines, and then collect the traffic. So that what you can do for the project. Of course, testing on the actual infrastructure, maybe some genuine website, that would be like illegal or unethical thing actually to do that without any consent.
And
So
sir, one last.
best possible way is to use virtual machines and do the all the simulations.
Okay, sir. Sir, one more thing. You said about packet splitting, sir. What is the usefulness of that? Like, if we are the ones who are actually doing the packet splitting rather than scanning it using Nmap, sir, what is the usefulness of splitting a packet when you are trying to pen test?
So, what pen testers generally they will do, they will use it to just check the settings of firewalls or intrusion detection systems, whether they are able to bypass that, or for instance, maybe whether intrusion detection system is triggering any alert or not. So that is the main purpose, like to see, check the settings of those security tools, whether they are properly configured or not, to detect these kind of scan attempts, with the fragmented packets. So if your firewall or intrusion detection system it is not detecting, so that means you need to configure it properly. So that is the main idea of doing that.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
But yeah, you can also use it when you are, let's say, doing some research project. Maybe you can do the packet fragmentation and collect all the traffic using Wireshark on your machine, and see what are the different information that you are getting in those traffic. So that is also one, to see it from different angle, to have different kind of attacks that you can simulate inside your in your controlled environment, I mean, for research purpose. Yeah.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Those were my only doubts.
And let
Any
me
other
check
questions or we'll continue? Okay. Okay, you can continue.
let me check with uh, so what you can also do, for instance, let me check that. So this is one aspect of I'm not sharing any slide right now. So this is one aspect of using Nmap that you can try to use in your infrastructure. And then, but what happens here, like as a pen tester, you are doing using Nmap, and then you are getting all those results, and then you are manually analyzing all these things for what are the vulnerabilities, or what can be the countermeasures and everything. So also what you can do, let me show you here. Second. Let me share the screen. So nowadays, a lot of tools are also you can use AI agents for doing the scanning. So if you can see my screen, so this is a tool that also you can use to get the use it for scanning and interpreting the results uh, about the different kinds of scan that you are doing. So it is very easy to use. What you can do, you can just follow the instructions here. You need to have Python and you need to install it. All the instructions are given here, and you can just git clone and then install the create a virtual environment, and then you can run the script. And what it will do, it will scan the your so in your lab, what you can do, you can use uh, like kit infrastructure. So you can just type kit.ac.in, and then you can do the it will not do any harm, but what it will give you, it will scan the infrastructure and it will give you all the information. And then your uh, I think also have the agents that will scan, go through all those results, and it will give you the interpretation. So you can use it and check that how what kind of results you are getting, and the interpretations after running this tool. So that will be also good things to see when you are using these well-known tool and map zenmap manually, and when you are using these AI powered agentic based reconnaissance tools to scan the infrastructure, what kind of information you are getting and how useful it is. And that will also give you some insights like what you can do to improve these reconnaissance agents, which are based on agentic AI, and to get scan the infrastructure in a proper way and not doing any damage. So all those information you can get, like it will give you port scanning that I showed you. It will give you the, it will also have a has a DNS agent which will scan the uh, infrastructure, and it will give you the information. You will get other I mean the domain registration information, all those things you will get that. So just it is very easy to use. So do the git cloning, and then you need to just go in that directory and then just run that. So just go through the readme file, and you can follow the instructions, and you can run the and just get the information. So you will get a lot of information, so you will see that. So it will scan, and then it will give you all the information. Like here you see it will scan for email security, whether SPF or DMARC is set or not. So all these things are very important. So it will scan for these things, and then it will give you that information. So just try to use this and yeah, see whether it is working or not. Any further question?
Sir, is this AI recon agent that accurate? And can it also survey the traffic in websites, like not just the IP traffic, but also in the website itself? Can it
It can, yeah, it can
penetrate?
simulate, but you have to be careful not to do any on a without any consent. You should not do use it on outside infrastructure. Maybe on your university you can do it, but it will not cause a lot of things. I mean, in fact, it will not cause anything. It will just give you the information. That's it.
No, no, in
No, sir.
But
Like,
even in university, you cannot do such kind of pen testing. Okay, first you have to get
yeah,
permission from ICT
permission,
school,
yeah.
then you can perform.
no, sir. I'm saying that in websites like many of the news websites, they don't have any kind of that much of protection, or they don't have any need of verification or APIs. They don't need that. So in those websites, can we use these?
No, that is
No.
that is called cyber attack. Okay, if you if
Yeah.
you if you penetrate any site that has less security, okay,
Hmm.
and you enter inside that newspaper, any company, then it's called cyber attack. Okay, do not do this. If you want to test, then you send an email that, sir, I
Yeah.
want to test
Okay.
your security. If you allow me, then I will test and I will send you the report where could be the attack is possible. Okay,
Okay, sir. Okay,
like
sir.
that.
Okay.
Yeah, don't do it without any consent,
Okay, sir.
because these things are illegal, and you need to get the permission and non-disclosure agreement. Many organizations will ask you to sign, because if you get any information, and you should not be, I mean, you should not disclose that. So don't do it, these kind of things without any consent.
Okay, sir.
So
Okay.
you need to get the, because these are illegal activities, and so we need to know the boundaries that we should not cross.
Okay, sir.
So yeah. Any other questions? But no, yeah, don't do any kind of, even with Nmap, don't do it without any consent. What you can do, you can use like your virtual machine. So let me show that how you can. So the best thing is use it in your virtual box. So don't do any kind of scanning on other infrastructure. So you can just like you install Oracle VirtualBox, and maybe you can set a couple of virtual machines like Kali you can set, and then you can have Windows. Maybe you can have 4 or 5 virtual like Windows virtual machines, and then you can test that. Even you can have other Linux machine, and then use it and see what results you are getting. And what you can do when you are setting these, you can also do, for instance, you can go here, 3 dots that you see, and create a NAT network. And let me minimize this. You can create a NAT, click on NAT network, and then what you can do, you can click create. I'm not going to do that because I already have. And then you can just name it something, and then it will automatically come like 10.0.2.0, or if it is not coming, you can just do that, and then click enable DHCP, and then that's it. And then once it is done, you can click apply here, and then you can go here, for instance, and on the network you can click, and click here, select the enable network adapter, and just click uh, attach to NAT network, and then select your NAT environment that you created. Similarly, you can do it for Windows. Like here, you can go and click on enable NAT network adapter, and click NAT network. There are 2 different options, NAT and NAT network, but you have to click on NAT network, and then select the home lab, or any name that you have given, and then yeah, promiscuous mode, allow all, and then just click OK. So the idea is to, let's say you have 4 or 5 virtual machines, and you are trying to make all them on the same environment, and then you can easily do all these kind of testing. So on your virtual machines, on VirtualBox, you can do it for research purpose, but yeah, don't do it on any external environment. Otherwise, yeah, that is an illegal activity, and you may be in trouble. So
Okay, sir.
yeah. Any questions?
Any other questions? You can ask, no problem. Fundamental should be strong so that we can mm, see the advanced things. I don't think so.
Yeah, try to use these tools, and yeah, you can let us know if you have any questions.
And sir, one more thing for using stuff like dev tools, web dev tools, or which is the best website for the best browser for that?
For what?
For sir, the developer tool means for seeing the means there are various developer tools the browser itself provides for scanning and tracking, right? So, sir, which is the best browser for that kind of purpose?
So what kind of web-based? So what you want to do actually?
Sir, mainly for cybersecurity attack means means information gathering only, like for creating data sets for cybersecurity. If I want to do, which dev tool should I use from the browser itself?
From browser, I'm not sure about whether you can use it, and maybe if there are, I mean, they are not very well-known tools like from using browser. I mean, generally, companies which provide the browsers, they avoid doing these kind of things. And web-based tools, like if directly embedded in the browser, maybe some third party allows you to do, like maybe some third party vendors or someone has created, and they will ask you to uh, attach in your web browser, and they will collect your information. Maybe that is like a backdoor which is collecting your information. So I would suggest to be careful, because yeah, these are the tools are well known, but yeah, if you are using any third party software and attaching in your web browsers, so you have to be careful, because maybe you are browsing a lot of things and they are collecting all your data information. So I'm not very aware about web browser based reconnaissance tool to collect the information. I mean, generally, companies they avoid doing that. And if you are using any third-party tool, and I think that is not a very well-known thing. I have not seen any tool or things that you can attach in your web browser to collect the information. So there are some proprietary tools from well-known service providers, CrowdStrike, and those, they provide some tools, but that is a proprietary tools, and they you pay the for the license and everything, and then you install in your infrastructure to do the scanning, but not like a browser-based reconnaissance tool.
Sorry,
Yeah.
madam.
Any other questions?
Rishi sir, I think I have already shared the coming schedules. I think consecutively, can you take 3 to 4 classes, because from 23rd we have this applied cyber security using multi-agentic AI workshop will be there. So before that, I want some basics should be covered. So can you be comfortable to take class tomorrow or Monday like that?
Tomorrow it will be difficult. Maybe on Saturday. I can take tomorrow. Here is Friday, so yeah, tomorrow it will be difficult.
So on 17th, I will prepare. I will ask the students to join.
17th. Yeah, on Saturday I can take, but that will be Sunday there.
Okay, no problem, because students can join on Sunday. So
Okay.
that is one another class.
Rishikesh, Saturday means in your place it's a Friday. Okay. It's not
No, I mean Saturday here.
tomorrow. It's
Yes.
tomorrow. Okay.
No, Saturday I mean here because
No,
tomorrow I have
we
some.
are saying Saturday 9 a.m. IST. Okay, it means in your place it's at 10 p.m. on Friday. Okay.
No, it's I'm telling here Saturday because I have 2 days I'm busy. Yeah, so because it is Thursday here actually. So tomorrow it will be difficult. So tomorrow is Friday here.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
You don't want tomorrow?
No, I don't want. On
Okay,
Saturday I can do.
In place of you, I will take class. Okay, 9 to
Okay.
10.
Okay.
Fine.
So that continuity will be maintained. Okay.
Okay.
And for other students, okay, sir. for other students, please go through the previous summer school session that Rishikesh already did. Okay,
Hmm.
and
That I'll share it again. That I
yes,
am going to share it
yes,
again.
I think Satya has already shared, and try to simulate your network traffic, not others. It means you have to create a virtual network. Okay, and as Rishikesh already told, uh, within your laptop, try to use that tools, that command, so that you can understand that how network is analyzed. And then after, if you go in any company or organization, then try such kind of outside kind of tool, because you may get in trouble if you use such kind of tool. One of my students used the tool and access the Chinese server, and let it be down for an hour, and these people's case against him. Okay, that's why you don't know which kind of site you are using and where it's going to be accessed, what kind of company is there. That's why, as a curiosity, do not do such kind of thing, because nowadays cyber attack is very, very uh, dangerous. Okay, for lots of cases are there. That's why do not use these outside of your range, and do not use any kind of third party tool that you told me that some kind of website kind of tool. It may attack on your system. If you use that kind of tools, it may be bad for you also. That's why do not go out of the box. Okay, use your system, your laptop, analyze different kind of tools, perform some operation functions, and get network traffic, and then we will analyze on that. And you can get a lots of tutorial. Rishikesh and I did in the last summer. Okay, yes, sir. Satya,
Okay
sir.
then. Okay then. So today this much. So again tomorrow at the same time 9 o'clock, Sumit sir will take the session. Fine.
Hello,
So I'll
sir.
share. Yes, yes, Tanim. Yeah.
Sir, does it work in any Wi-Fi system, or it exists any networking that blocks Nmap scanning?
Sorry, can you say it again?
In We usually scan Wi-Fi. Nmap use Nmap to scan Wi-Fi. No.
Oh, not Wi-Fi. I mean, Nmap is generally used to scan the infrastructure. So, if you are trying to scan, let's say, your Wi-Fi infrastructure, so you can do it on your home network, but not in your office or in your university without any consent. So don't do that actually. But the safe is like as we just mentioned that use it in your own virtual environment. And don't I mean the purpose is to understand how this tool works and what you can do with this tool as a pen testers, understand the fundamentals and use it for research purpose for doing some project. But don't do it any unethical thing like trying to scan public Wi-Fi infrastructure or any other infrastructure. So don't try to do that. There are
Sir,
for Wi-Fi scanning. There are some other tools that is we use for scanning Wi-Fi network. But yeah, if you use those tools, then there are some tools in Kali machine which generally we use for scanning Wi-Fi infrastructure, Wi-Fi networks. But if you use it to scan any public Wi-Fi, then you may get in trouble. So don't do those kind of things. Just learn it and know that how we use it for and try to do some projects and instead of doing some things which will land in you in problems.
sir, once scanned your Wi-Fi structure using Nmap, but it only shows only my IP. It's
Yeah, because
very
maybe you are not properly, it is not properly configured with your system. So that can be the reasons. So those things, yeah, you need to check the proper configurations.
Sir, I
These
searched.
things you can find in the previous video, how the network is configured, how you can analyze. Please go through if you have time.
Today I will share it again. The last summer school, 15 days summer school, that video I have already shared, but again I will share it now.
And
No, sir,
especially
I
go for Professor Rishikesh tutorials, because he explains very well how to use these pen tester tools or network tools to analyze.
no, sir. I searched in ChatGPT, and that says it using containerization or such things.
First, I would suggest, yeah, install these tools, and then first, try to use it in your infrastructure. Then, yeah, you can check for other aspects, like how you can use it for scanning Wi-Fi. So, or any, but yeah, Wi-Fi scanning, you have to be careful not to do it uh, on any Wi-Fi network. So there are other tools that we use for Wi-Fi testing, like for configurations. But yeah, just follow the fundamentals first and use it with some basic commands of Nmap first on your own virtual machines, and then maybe you can see what are other options that you have with Nmap. So there are a lot of different options that you can see in its help manual, and from there you can see what are the different commands and what you can perform.
Yes, sir.
Okay then. So I think we should stop here. And tomorrow at 9 a.m. Sumesh sir will take the session, 9 to 10 or 10:30. And I have already shared it now. You can check your WhatsApp group. That summer school video I have already shared. You just go through that one. And as suggested, Sumesh sir and Rishi sir, so don't try to use something which will be in trouble in future. So do it in your system only. So thank you very much. So today's session will be shared very soon. Thank you, Rishi sir, Sumesh sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Satya sir. Thank you, Sumit.
Thank you.